kiss your lips 1,000 times, and more times than I can count. I have called you mine, you have stood by me.
Good afternoon. Welcome to October 29, 2019 Glendale Housing Authority meeting, being called to order at 3:07 p.m. May I please have the roll call?
Authority members: Devine.
Here.
Najarian.
Here.
Parazian. Quintero.
Here.
Garpetian.
Here.
Chair Agajanian.
Present. May I please have your report?
The agenda for the October 29, 2019 regular meeting of the Glendale Housing Authority was posted on Thursday, October 24, 2019 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
What's next, please?
Next is approval of minutes.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll move the minutes.
Second. Hearing no objection, the minutes stands approved as submitted. What's next, please?
Chair, next is oral communication. Discussion is limited to items not part of this agenda. Each speaker is allowed 5 minutes. Members of the Housing Authority may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or decision. And the matter may be referred to staff through the Executive Director for an investigation and a report. There was one card submitted.
Okay, Mr. Herbert Molano, please.
Good afternoon, Housing Authority Chair Agajanian, members of the Housing Authority. My name is Herbert Molano. About a month ago, during one of these meetings, Mr. Agajanian, you expressed dismay at the very low number of low-income housing units being built in Glendale in the last few years. I don't know if you said 10 years, but I recognize that you meant several number of years and a very low number of low-income housing units. But I recall that since the end of the redevelopment agency, the set-aside funds that were available for low-income housing were dried up. So the city had to come up with probably some other alternatives to be able to move in that direction. But I haven't been that frequent at City Council and the Housing Authority to know exactly how it is performing in this regard. And so I have a question with regard to policy. We have a document, which is the housing element, that is produced every 8 years. And I was wondering how often this document comes up for review by the Housing Authority so that you can give us an idea of what your goals and objectives are. How are the city's policies aligned to address not just low-income housing, but moderate-income housing or affordable housing? I mention that because one of the issues that I have been involved with, and I think I've been involved with in housing issues since 1978 in one way or another, and I've been a landlord for about 36 years, that the issues of affordable housing has become more and more severe with each year that goes by. And cities are feeling the pressure to figure out what to do to meet that incredible demand. Los Angeles County has a shortage, as of 2 years ago, of nearly 500,000 units needed of affordable housing. And even though Glendale has been at the forefront of really creating a lot of housing, I was wondering what the objectives are with regard to affordable housing. It is of interest to me because it was mentioned with regard to the concern having to do with the short-term rentals and its impact on affordable housing. But it's also of interest to me that the city has a number of parking lots that in the past have been used as a way of inducing development. Either the city has exchanged something for it, or has given it outright, or has given a lease for a nominal fee. And that was the case as I started to research the lot on 249 North Maryland, which is a city-owned lot. And it was, and the city started negotiations with the Indigo Hotel Group. Now, to my mind, if the city already owns this property and it needs affordable housing, why not use any city lots that you intend to exchange for precisely that purpose now that you don't have redevelopment? So I'm coming here to suggest to the chair that it is in your prerogative to have the staff agendize a review precisely of what the city intends to do with all of these parking lots that it intends to turn into, or that may turn into affordable housing or any other type of development, like hotels, for example. I think that the city should probably address the issues of how many hotels have been built in Glendale and whether it actually needs to turn these city-owned properties into hotels as opposed to affordable housing units. It is my contention or my understanding that a lot of the construction that has occurred, and by the way, I welcome that. It's great-looking buildings that the city has built, and I support it, because in the event of an economic downturn, all those prices are going to be coming down, and we are due for an economic downturn fairly soon, is my understanding. But I would like to see the city address that particular issue of what it is doing and what are the goals for affordable housing and what it intends to do with any of the parking lots that are being considered for development. Thank you very much.
Mr. Alajanian. Mr. Marlana, I just want to emphasize the point. You brought this issue up. You keep going to the same issue. You brought this issue up last time as well. There is no development on that site that's being proposed, or city is not giving up the land for that small site on North Maryland. You just keep mentioning that one site that I think city had some proposals received from some of the developers, that are hotel developers. There is no city land that is currently being given to any developer to build hotels on. So we keep emphasizing the same point, but I don't know I just want to understand where we're going with this, because some of the sites that the city owns, the smaller sites, they're not really a good site for, it's a small, you can't build too many affordable housing on that site if it's 20,000, 25,000, or 15,000 square feet. So I think by just keep emphasizing one location that maybe we received some proposals, and time again, people think, oh, city is building a hotel on that site. We're not. So
maybe I can answer that in light of, and I understand the clarification that you want. When I was more active in city issues, there was a move.
I just want to concentrate on that issue.
No, I want to address your question or your concern. Near Honolulu and in Ocean View, there are two parking lots that are used by the general public. I believe that they're city-owned lots. And at one point in time, those lots were being considered to be exchanged for development. It actually was housing. So I'm not just referring to this one. It's just the one that is more currently in my mind. But I'm suggesting to the chair that in the future, you might want to consider that the affordable housing that you desperately want and that is your passion, that maybe we can address the use of those parking lots for this purpose. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Arjani?
Yes, please.
I'd also like to add to that we have done a study on the need for hotels in Glendale. Is Ms. Sanchez or Mr. Lansing, can you just update us on that study?
Very quickly, we did a study that showed a need for high-end and discount extended stay. It considered a certain number of units in that mid-range as assumed that they would be built. Many of those have not yet been built, so there is capacity for hotels in Glendale.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oral communications is closed. What's next, please?
Next is staff or authority member comments.
Are there any authority member or staff comments? Okay. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We stand adjourned at 3:16 p.m. Thank you.